Hi Cancer, this will be the second half of October video, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at relationships and couples, things like that first, and then secondly, we'll briefly look at singles, and then we will look at the career and workplace and that sort of thing. So we'll go ahead and get started. Excuse me. Let's see, and I'll go ahead and put down the relationship reading first, okay? So we'll see who you are dealing with in love, see where they are at in this, and then we'll kind of look at your cards and how they play off of each other. Okay, so show me Cancer, please. Show me sign of Cancer, who they are dealing with in love. Cancer, who they are dealing with in love. Truly feel. Okay. Whoop. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay, all right. And let me put down your cards real quick. Cancer, Cancer, how they feel towards this person, please. How do they feel? How does Cancer feel towards this person? Cancer. Second one. Okay. Nope. Yep. One more. Oh. Okay. Yep. Sorry. I talked to myself a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, we're ready now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So seems to be kind of going on. I think this is kind of a little similar to like the first part, and I was kind of hoping this might play out a little better. Like there might be some more turning points at this point, but from the last reading. So I mean, I don't know, the progression that I see from the last read, because I think that was the last one I did, was kind of similar for the first part of October, but for maybe not. I might be thinking of a different sign. But for this one, it just kind of feels like it's progressing, but like down, like away from each other is the way I feel. Because like right now, like with their cards, they have the Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Death card. So the Death card in this one is a lot different than like the normal decks, because when the Death card comes out in this one, it's pretty much about like the Grim Reaper, like death. It's not about like, oh, changing into something and transforming or anything like that. So I feel like it's still strong, here, like there's this like sense of duty or something within this person, like almost like a Catholic vibe who doesn't want to get divorced kind of thing, like a sense of duty in some way, kind of. But on the same hand, it's like I just feel like they kind of just don't want to work on things like right now, that's just kind of the feeling I get. Like they're being very standoffish and not really doing things. They might also be living apart from you at this time. That could be with their feelings towards you. They have the Five of Pentacles and the World. So I feel like they think like they've been left out in the cold, like you've just like, rejected them, or you're rejecting them, that sort of thing. And they feel like the cycle's closing. That's kind of the sense I get. I think they're still highly attracted to you and all of those things, but yet there's like this like heavy, like they just feel like really, not abandoned necessarily, but like betrayed in a sense, and not betrayed in like a third party. It doesn't have to be that. That's just kind of the way they feel, whether or not that's warranted. Because how sometimes we get in sorry cross watchers, but sometimes we get in like that self pity mode a little bit. I mean, I don't see that too much, but it's kind of almost like that vibe, like where they just feel like, oh, you didn't communicate with me, and oh, this, everything's just sucks, and that sort of deal. Now, their outcome card is interesting. They have the Three of Wands, so in a sense, like I feel like they see a future, but I don't know. I'm gonna look at that a little bit because that could just be a single kind of vibe too that they're giving off, or a third party too. As far as your cards, I think you're moving towards happiness. I do. I think you were trapped. I think you felt trapped. Just everything, like your passions, just everything about you. And I feel like you're just starting to like indulge a little bit, but for your happiness. That's the sense I get. Like it's just like this little progression of like feeling trapped and then kind of like testing the waters of things a little bit and then like really kind of feeling like some happiness here, like wow, I don't know, because I feel like you guys are separated or something, in this particular reading. How you feel towards them, you have the Queen of Swords, and you have the Star card. So to me, again, I just feel like you're just not taking anything right now. You're not taking any crap. You're saying what you feel. You're not like masking it too much. I don't feel like you are. I think you're being very blunt, very to the point. And that is helping you like heal. I don't know. I feel like you have like this hope for things. And just based on that, and I don't know. I feel good about the where this is going in that sense. However, your outcome card is the Hermit. But I don't hate the Hermit because the thing is the Hermit is necessary sometimes. Again, I feel like you guys are apart and taking some time apart. That could be too, especially with the Hermit card. Or maybe you're just, if you're not like physically apart, maybe it just feels that way right now and you're okay with that. I think that's smart, just to kind of go, a little bit, you want this happiness and things like that, and you're realizing, all those things, but also kind of going aside a little bit, thinking about things, exercising your wisdom, that you do have innately about the situation, looking back on it, really kind of studying it and making decisions from there is good. Let me take a look at a couple things here. Let me look at the Three of Wands. What I don't see is working together. That's why I say to me it feels, whether or not you are physically together or not, it just feels like very, very separate, like working on oneself. Yeah, marriage. Okay, yeah, lots of threes here on the other side of who you are dealing with. Whether or not that's, saying third party, I don't know. I mean, possibly, possibly not. But I think right now that the you guys are both realizing that this relationship, this marriage, whatever it is kind of a burden, and like you guys probably work, like you probably accomplish better things when you're apart, kind of thing. That's what I see. And it's just they're having a tough time realizing that, and they're very depressed. I do get this depression energy with who you are dealing with. Maybe drinking a little bit too, possibly, but this Three of Swords energy here I have the Five of Cups, I have the Three of Pentacles. So it's like, again, like I said about this duty, like I feel like they have this duty, and that may be because maybe there's a couple kids involved or something like that. So, that's possible, but the whole thing just feels, very depressing to them. And I think they just want to be free. And I think you just want to not put up with the bullshit anymore. It's not that you want to be so free and go sow your oats or anything like that, but you want to find your happiness again, and you're tired of the crap, and you're just like laying things down on the line. You're not caring about how much you're not tiptoeing around their feelings anymore. That's kind of what I feel, which is helping you in that sense. It's helping you heal and getting some things out and being straightforward, and that sort of deal. So I don't know. It's a tough go. I still don't see any improvement from the last time, really. And honestly, if I were just to give my, just a educated guess from this, I mean, it doesn't seem to be heading towards, improvement. And I think you are, as a person, But I think as a couple, you know, I don't know. I'm not seeing the positive progression here. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna leave it there. And it's short time energy, and that won't be for all of you. Some of you will, you know, you'll improve, or you know, maybe that didn't resonate, you know, whatever. You know, I mean, it's short term. This is just for mid October, you know, till the end of the month. So. All right, so let's see. I'm going to look at single cancers now. Single cancers. Single cancers. Oh, there we go. Single cancers for the second half of October, please. Second half of October for single cancers out there. What might be going on with you guys? Single cancers from highest and clearest. Single cancers watching for second half of October. Single cancers. Oh. All right, let's see what we got here. Single cancers. Okay. Ooh, all right. Ooh, all right. Interesting. Okay, so a couple things. So we have the Eight of Wands. So I feel like there was some communication, some texting going on, some, you know, fun stuff like that. Maybe even going to see somebody, you know, or talk about going to see someone. Maybe talk of travel, like if you've been, you know, talking with somebody on the internet or something, and maybe they were thinking of coming to see you, or you were coming to see them, you know, it could be something like that too. But here's the thing I want to caution about. Because in the more present position, you have the Three of Wands, which normally I like in a reading, but with the surrounding cards, I'm not digging this. So, you know, it could be that you're thinking about, you know, this could, you know, maybe you're starting to think about the future with this person, or like maybe this could go somewhere, or maybe I should actually physically go see them because maybe you're communicating with somebody in another state or even another country or something like that, or, you know, just communicating in general, and you think, ooh, you know, maybe you've actually been on you know, some dates or something, you think this is going somewhere, you know, that kind of thing. However, red flags here with the cards, you know, again, you know, this is just tarot, so, you know, use your intuition, you know, maybe this isn't your particular case, you know, who knows. But we do have the Moon card here as the outcome card. So the Moon card, you know, and I get the other part is that I don't like is we have the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I've got the Page of Wands, and then I have the Queen of Wands and the Empress. Now, to me, even though the Empress card in tarot is a lot of times Taurus, to me, I always identify the Empress card with Cancer, the sign of Cancer. So to me, this tells me two women. You know, you and somebody else. You know, so I don't like that so much. And with the Three of Swords, I'm thinking third party, you know, kind of deal, and that you know, you find out some news about something. Now, also, Empress card could be pregnancy, so that's possible, but, you know, that would just be for a rare few of you. But, yeah, I just feel like there's some sort of hidden information here with the Moon card that is, you know, third party, totally. You know, that's what I feel. So that doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, if, you know, it depends. I mean, if they're married, sure, that's going to be difficult. But maybe, you know, this could be somebody you're interested in and they're dating a couple people, you know, and, you know, maybe they choose you in the long run. You know, I don't know at that point, but with the Moon card, I don't know. That doesn't, it just seems like they're not being honest and straightforward. So I don't know how you know, necessarily want to deal with that right from the get-go. That might not be fun, you know, because if they're not being honest with you now, you know, and with the Three of Swords, I don't know, that energy might be a little tough. So that's a little bit of a heads up as far as that goes. I mean, you do have the Star card way down below here, you know, and the Page of Cups, you know, coming in. So could be some new stuff coming in later, but that would be more towards November. So I don't know, just heads up on whoever you're dealing with here, and especially if it's somebody that you're communicating with online, you know, that they might not be telling you the truth about everything. So, okay, let's look at career and things like that. For the sign of Cancer, Cancer, career, Cancer, career, workplace, that sort of thing, for the sign of Cancer. Cancer for second half of October. Second half of October. Cancer, we're going to career and workplace. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So looks like a little bit tough, a couple weeks, we do have the Ten of Swords in the mix. So also right in the center, I don't like this too much either. I will say though, with this whole reading, I actually is there are only two major arcana cards, and one of them is in the recent past. So technically, really, there's only one, and so that means it's not like to me, when I see like not that many major arcana cards, it means it's not really that like this isn't probably going to happen for a lot of people. It's kind of it's like up in the air, the way it is. So I wouldn't definitely, like, if I were doing this reading like for a client, I'd probably look at it, get the overall, and then probably redo it, just based on what I see, from that. So and I'm saying all this because it's like not such a great reading. All right, it's not horrible, but it's so. Okay, so you have the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Wands. All right, so wands, both crappy, crappy ones. All right, so it's like this is like being exhausted, working your ass off, putting a lot of effort into something, not really seeing the payoff, and you're like waiting and waiting and waiting. Now, I mean, I do like that the Ten of Wands comes, close to it, because that's like a little bit of a progression. But the thing I don't like about the Ten of Wands is, because to me, it doesn't feel like closing a cycle or the end of burdens. To me, it just seems like you just have a bunch of stuff still, and you really can't see the end goal, and not because you can't, like you can, you want to, but it's like, all this stuff keeps coming on your plate that it's like, where is this going? Am I going anywhere by doing all this work? Is it going to serve me well? That sort of thing. Now, you have the Ten of Swords at the top of this reading, too, with the World card. So, let's see. I need to check something real quick. I was going to say, too, you do have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. We'll get to all that. I just, I'm going to shuffle, so I did want to tell you that. So you may have something coming in with, like, a large industry of some sort, or a large company, or just it might just be with like work that you have done before, and you're just like you always kind of do that kind of work. But I feel like it's more like with a large industry. So I do feel like there is an offer coming in at some point. I just when it's at the bottom of the deck like that, I won't guarantee it's going to be within this time frame. But let me check a couple things. I just wanted to mention that before I shuffled. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. So for some of you, it's possible that, that since you couldn't see where this was going and you just kept working and working and working and working, that you may actually decide to leave, and walk away. That's very possible. Some of you may do that to start a home-based business. That's possible too. Others of you may end a home-based business based on you've put a lot of work into it, a lot of effort into it, and it's like there's just, and it could be dealing with overseas type work of some sort, but it would be more like this would only be for a specific few of you who maybe are doing like a home-based type business. And maybe you just, weren't seeing the returns, and you just kept putting a lot of work, and you're not seeing the results. So some of you may choose to walk away from that and then go back into the industry or the job that you've always kind of had with that Devil card. But this time I think you'll come back to it with more passion. So in that sense, that's good. And I think that the cool part is too that whatever this, if this was a home-based business or something like that, that you did put a lot of efforts into, I think that in a weird way that creativity or whatever it is, skills you use to do that, will benefit you and bring you more money in the future, even if it wasn't from this particular business, if that makes sense. So I do see that being, you have a couple kings in your reading and a queen. So I feel like a lot of you will be interviewing with a lot of people also. Definitely. Let's see. Queen of Wands. Okay, magician. Yeah. Okay, there's an offer. All right, that's good. And what is the right, and news. Okay, that's good. And all your cards at the bottom of the deck are showing very well. So that tells me that whatever this is, like good, better things are going to be coming in probably like more like the beginning of November, that sort of thing, like after the time period of this reading. That's usually what happens. Like a lot of bright cards show up like that. And one more outcome check, please. Okay. All right, cool. All right, yay. Okay, so there could be some of you too that were working with a family-run business, all right? And maybe you're just like tired of it and, you know, you just walk away, you know, because you're just over it. You know, maybe it's just too much of a burden, that sort of thing. That could be too. There's something about family here because I have the Ten of Coin, I have the Ten of Cups. It just feels like, you know, and it's not just about your security, you know, which, you know, that could be too. But there's, you know, I don't think you'd be turning your back on your family, you know. So I feel like it's more like there's something you either started with a family business or, like I said, a home-based business, something like that. You do have the King of Wands and the Sun as your outcome cards. So this could possibly be a Leo male, you know, could be a female, but most likely a Leo male or something like that that helps in some way or, you know, like really makes you a great offer or, you know, brings you some happiness. Or this could just be you because in your position, you have the King of Pentacles. So this could be about, you know, the King of Pentacles is, you know, really good with money, really good at all kinds of things, they are used to being like in control and like in a power position and that sort of thing. So this might kind of be like where you are used to being, or this could be somebody, you know, like some aspect of yourself that you need to be. But I think towards the end of the month, you're going to end up being more like this, which is, you know, or this is another person. It could be a person that helps you out. But if it isn't, then it's you and the aspects of you. So instead of like just doing things the tried and true way and the practical way and the this way and the that way, you're going to do what makes you passionate and happy, you know, and that's it. And you have a great card after that. You know, you have the Ten of Cups. So I feel like, you know, this is what needs to happen for the family, for you, for everything. You're going to have enough money. I see that. You have the Six of Coin here, so that's good. And you have the Wheel and Justice also. So for those of you that are worried about like sort of like, you know, things being fair or some sort of court cases or things like that, I see a little bit more work needing to go back into that, but ultimately I see you doing well. But either way, this is your outcome card, so it's good. It's just there's something here ending, you know, definitely. That's just, you know, you put a lot of work, a lot of effort into it, and that part sucks, you know. And I feel like it's a collaboration with a couple other people or something like that. But I think you're just gonna have to turn your back on it and walk away, you know, and you know, if you've invested something, you know, just keep that, you know, take care of, you know, your part of it. And now energize yourself, take what you learned from that, energize it into something else. And I feel like you're going to have like things coming towards you. Others of you may, you know, like you may decide to go out and do something that makes you happy. Like I said, others of you may take an opportunity working for a very large corporation that it's probably in the business though that you've already done before. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there. It's a little complicated reading, but hopefully it makes sense. What's not complicated is you have an awesome outcome. So that's good. We'll just go with that. All right. So let's see. Okay. All right, Cancer. Thank you for tuning in. And let's see. I'll see you guys back for November. And thanks for everything and have a good rest of the month. All right. Bye.